Yeah, good morning, friends. Welcome back, and we have another lecture on water tank. This is going to be the third lecture on water tank. And the last class, we have seen the very basics of water tank for a circular slab, circular water tanks. Okay, so this is our syllabus, and we have seen a circular water tank with a flexible base that we have discussed yesterday, and we have done a problem too. And now we are going to do and we are going to discuss the design steps or design philosophy of the circular tank with a rigid base. Okay, so these are going to be the same, the stresses in steel and concrete. Okay, this is we have discussed a number of times, and this is going to be the minimum reinforcement required for a water tank. Yeah. So coming to the rigid base, this is in the previous case you would have seen actually there was because of the water pressure, these two valves would have been moved actually, which will cause there is no bending moment at the joint actually because it was moving like. In this case, since the wall and the slab is monolithically cast, wherein the reinforcement of the wall will go into the base slab, so there is a rigidity, there is a fixity is there is no rotation here at this moment. So because of the water pressure, what happens, the wall will move like this actually, creating this portion will be it's bending like a cantilever, and this portion like a beam at the top actually. So what is as a result of this, there is a bending moment will be generated on the vertical wall actually. So in this rigid base, the water tank with rigid base, we need to consider the bending moment on the vertical wall as well as the hoop tension because of the water pressure. Okay, so these are the main things which governs the design of the water tank. Yeah, and we need to use IS 456 IS 3370, which is going to be and part 4, which is the one which we use for the design of water tank. Okay, so let me take it out, pull out this IS codes. This is not IS code 3370, so that I will be using it. No, so taking out the values. So let us see. Okay, we'll come to that. So coming to this, so let us see how the design is going to be. So before that, this height, by which it will act as a cantilever, that we will discuss in detail actually. So please understand that there is a moment in the wall also, okay, which we need to consider for the design. That is what is the takeaway on this. So many things will be same. So just to discuss about little bit about the working stress method, because as I told you before, this water tank is it's a storage of stresses actually. So there are different types of stresses getting generated, different way it bends. So the stresses are predominant. So we do this problem actually, we design the water tank using working stress method mainly, so that you please keep in mind. So coming to the very basics of working stress method, so we have discussed in the last year DC1. So just these constants are going to be useful for us. Okay, so this is your cross section, this is your strain diagram, this is your stress diagram. Okay, stress diagram, the bottom it will be tension and top it is compression because of the concrete, and this is the total compressive force, and this is total tensile force, and the distance between tension and compression, that is called Z, the lever arm, that is d minus x by 3, because this this force construction, this compressive force will be acting at the CG of the triangle, which is x by 3 on the top. So total is d, so d minus x by 3. So for finding out moment, the moment is nothing but t into z or z into z. Both ways we can find out. You can find it out from the tensile side, and we can find it from the compressive side. Okay, so this is what we need it. So let see this, all are these factors actually, k, K is your neutral axis depth factor. This is sigma CBC by sigma CBD plus sigma ST by M. Okay, we are not going into detail of this one, how it is coming and all. We have already derived it before. And M is 280 divided by 3 sigma CBC. This sigma CBC you can get it from IS 456. Otherwise, you can find out like this. Approximately, you know, the sigma CBC, there is a thumb rule like it is there. Sigma CBC we can find out like sigma CBC is equal to FCK by 3. FCK by 3 you can find it out actually, right? Approximately it will come, but the values are given directly in IS 456. And J is the Liveram factor actually. J is J into D, Z is J into D, where J is 1 minus K by 3. Okay, K we will find out like this. And M is moment of resistance. M is Q BD square, where Q is sigma CBC into K into J by 2. And from the tensile side, M is equal to sigma ST into AST into Z. From this you can find out AST. AST is M divided by sigma ST. So this formula you please keep in mind, except this 280 by 3 sigma CBC, remaining all are not there in the code. So just you need to keep it in your mind. Let us going to the design of rigid base. There are 3-4 types of methods which we use. One is Reisner's method, Carpenter's simplified method, approximate. This is only for you know, for you to understand. And all methods have its own merits and demerits, but IS 456 method, IS code method 3370, not 456, 370 method is going to be somewhat reliable, and it is easy also. So we will be following our KTU syllabus says about you know, usage of IS coefficients. From this one we will be finding out the coefficients. Okay, so this we will see how it is how we are going to find it out. So from IS code method, what you are going to find out is the coefficients for hoop tension and coefficient for bending moment, shear force. But shear force is not that much predominant in the water tank, so normally we don't consider this. This will not be considering this. So yeah, so just to keep in mind. So we will be taking only the coefficients for T to find out hoop tension and coefficient for bending moment to find out bending moment. Yeah, and this is the formula for finding out tension, because it is there in the code actually. It is, so the first step, there are two possibilities there. One is they will be giving you the volume, okay, without giving anything. So you like to decide the height and the diameter. Okay, otherwise what they will tell you is they will give you the volume, at the same time they will tell the restriction of the height. They will give, this is the height we can go maximum. So the h is known to you. That time using volume and h, you know, you can find out d. If the volume only alone is given, then h you need to assume. So normally you can assume some 4 meter h, you know, the complete h, overall h 4 meter, from which freeboard is to be deducted actually. Okay, 3 to 4 meter you can take. So first step is find out from the data given to you, find out the diameter using the formula. Pi d square by 4 into h is the volume of the tank. So once you got this one, the next step is here in the rigid base method. What you do is we will take a thickness of, we will assume a thickness of the water tank, and we will check for it. Whereas in the previous case it was not like that. So this is the thumb rule for finding out the thickness. Small t of the water tank is equal to 30h plus 50 mm, meaning h is going to be in meters. Okay, and the overall result, you know, which you will get in millimeter. Yeah, which is in meters. So don't forget, h means the water depth, the water height. Okay, maybe the total height of water tank will be water depth plus freeboard. Okay, so that you please keep in mind. So overall thickness, once you got small t, the overall thickness, you know, the overall thickness meaning, as I told you, because this there will be because it is going to be like this. I will just show it. Overall thickness meaning, because your let us say the water tank wall is like this. Okay, right? There is one layer of bar here, because normally in rigid base, you know, we will be providing 2 layers of bar. So mostly the thickness will be more than 225. This is one layer, and then this is another layer. Okay, this is another layer. This total thickness, you know, this total thickness is called T. This total thickness is called T. its total thickness is called T. Yeah, this is your T, capital T. Yeah, and what is happening is from the, when I say small t, small t, what is happening is, this is a reinforcement one, inside reinforcement. Let us say this is inside, inner side of the wall, inside of water tank, and the other is another side of the outer side. So from here to here, this distance is called your small t. This is called small t. Okay, this is small t, this thickness. So what is happening is, once you got small t, this gap, this gap is the clear cover. You can take like 25 centimeter for the water tank. The clear cover is you can take 25 centimeter. Let us say 25 mm, not centimeter, 25 mm. Okay, so this is, let us say 25 mm, this clear cover. Then this T is nothing but from the outside to center of the reinforcement. So if you are thinking, the reinforcement thickness is 10 mm, so 25 plus 5 you can take. So this T plus small t plus 25 plus 5 will give you your capital T. So that is important. Okay, so in this here you would have found out small t using the formula 30h plus 50. So overall thickness you can find it out t plus 30, 20 as I shown here, 25 plus 5, it will come total t. So that is the overall, because when you give it to site, you should give the total thickness, right? So that's all now. So what is in your hand is now the diameter is there, thickness is there. The next step is finding out all these coefficients actually. So all this formula, all the values, all the data, So once you have, the only thing you need to find it out is sigma CBC and sigma ST. Sigma CBC, it is a constant. It's a bending stress in compression for the concrete. It is there in the IS 456 as I told you. Otherwise, you can find out by using LCK by 3. You will get an approximate value. You round it up, alright. And sigma ST, as I told you before, this is going to be from this table, right? So if it is FE 415, you take 150. If it is FE 250, you take 115. Then all these things you please find out. Yeah. Once these are done, the next step is, as usual, finding out the coefficients. Our aim is to find out hoop tension and bending moment. For hoop tension, you need to find out the coefficients. You need to find out. Yeah. So for finding out coefficients, you will be looking into the IS 3370, which in that there is a table in which they have given let's say the circular, for the circular tank they have given the coefficient directly. You will see that document. Okay, these are all rectangular tanks. Circular tanks is on the way. Which table it is? Coming to that, no. Yeah, this is the one. Circular tank fixed at base, free at top. Yeah. So this is what actually. So what you will be doing is you will be finding out h square by dt. As I shown in the this one, h square by dt. This parameter will find out. H means the height, d is the diameter, t is the thickness. So you parameter will find it out once you got the parameter. For example, here what you have to keep in mind is, suppose you got 6.5. But we don't have value for 6.5, only 6, next one is 8. So the next higher value you can take. Okay, suppose you got 3.9 or 3.4, the next one is 3.4, it is not there. We need to interpolate it, otherwise you need to take the higher values. Okay, so interpolate it, you don't need to go for that, you will be in the safer side only. So just take the next higher value. Okay, so what is that you need to look is, this is for a tension, hoop tension. So this 8, suppose let us say I got h square by dt is 8. So in this row, see the maximum value. Okay, let us say in this case it will be 0.575. So that is the coefficient for the tension, hoop tension. So tension tensile force is equal to coefficient into gamma into h into r, or d by 2. Similarly, then r means d by 2, radius is d by 2. So next step, next page you will get like moment coefficient. Same way, this let us say h square by dt is 8. From this you go towards the horizontally right side. So in these values you will find out which is the maximum. So it is coming, forget about the positive or negative, it doesn't make any sense, because negative meaning the tension is in the outside, because since we are providing 2 layers of bars, it is not going to be an issue actually. Yeah, so you don't need to worry about negative or positive. Yeah, you take the modulus value which is higher. So in this case it is 0.0146. Okay, so once you got that one, coefficient is equal to gamma h cube, moment is equal to the coefficient into gamma h cube. Okay, so that is what you will be finding out. Shear force, as I told you, we will not be using anywhere, so we don't need to find it out actually. Okay, so the next step is, once you got this coefficients, bending moment and everything, tension, then next step is you need to check the thickness what you have given is right or not, is it sufficient or not. So you can use this formula T is equal, because you know that mu is equal to q bt square, we already found out q and everything. So from this T is equal to root of m divided by qb, m divided by qb. T is nothing but thickness. Okay, so don't worry on this. Actually this because this b indicates that 1000, because this we are going to find out for the 1 meter width of the 1 meter length of the wall, and d is nothing but the thickness here actually. Thickness for us it is t, d is nothing but t. So t is equal to root of m by cube. So you find it out whatever you provided initially, because you would have calculated like this, t is equal, small t is 30h plus 50. You would have got some value. Check it up whether that value and this value is higher. If this value is smaller than that, this is the required, and we have provided that much, that is higher, then we are on the safer side. If not, we need to increase the thickness. So once you got that one, the next step is finding out the reinforcement. Okay, so whatever the things you have found out now is see, I cannot move it. Okay, what are the things you found out is, let us say you found out now the hoop tension hoop tension, which is T, and you found out the bending moment M. Okay, so remember this is very important actually, because this is your wall actually. Okay, this is your inner side, inside, because water pressure is from the inside, right? So the inside wall will be subjected to all these things actually. So we will be providing a reinforcement here. It's vertical reinforcement. Okay, I'll give it another color. Vertical reinforcement, which is, let us say, in another color. Okay, and we will be providing this horizontal reinforcement also, meaning this hoop reinforcement. Okay, like one, this is the also, this is going to be the horizontal reinforcement. Okay, it is like this. If you see, I think just to make you more clear, this is your, if you see from the top, this is the one, and let us say this is your inside, this is outside. When you see from the top, here is the place where you put water. So you will have, I will just show it in different color, not to have confusion now. Okay, so this is your hoop reinforcement. This is near to the wall, like inside reinforcement. Okay, inside. Okay, understood? This line is this one, this is this one, hoop reinforcement. So what I mean to say is, for taking tension, the reinforcement what you are providing is this reinforcement. Okay, these reinforcement. And for taking bending moment, whatever, because the wall is going to bend as a cantilever, so to stop that one we have to provide vertical. So for bending moment we are providing this reinforcement, means this one. Okay, because this bar will come here, 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 here. This is for the bend, to take care of the bending moment. Okay. Right. Okay, so this is for taking care of bending moment, this one, this bars, right? So that is what you should keep in mind. Now you see we are going to find out the area of steel. So using the bending moment m divided by sigma st into z, this area of steel is going to be your vertical bar. Okay, as I have shown here, this one by ast is equal to m divided by sigma st into z. This formula, by using this one, what you are getting is your vertical bars. Okay, and asth, using the t you are finding out asth horizontal. Asth means horizontal or hoop is equal to t by sigma st. We have done the previous case also. This reinforcement is going to be the circular rings actually. Okay, once you got AST, find out spacing. Spacing you know it already. You decide a diameter of the bar, A into 1000 divided by AST. Okay, is that clear? So you got area of steel. Now the next very step is to check the stress in the concrete. The actual stress in concrete we need to check whether it is within the permissible limit or not. So the formula for this one is last class we have discussed, and we have derived also how we are getting this formula. So sigma st is equal to t divided by 1000 t plus m minus 1 into ast actual. So once you got this one, here the hoop tension ast you got it, find out the actual ast provided. That actual ast is to be used here. Yeah. So from this you can find out sigma st. So normally sigma st is there in the IS 3370 part 2 if your grade of concrete is M25 and more. If it is less than M25, I think you need to use the formula like this general formula is there, finding out this one. This is sigma. I will just tell you sigma ct is equal to 0.27. Okay, root fck. This formula you can use it. Okay, whatever the grade it is, root fck. This will give you the value of sigma ct. Because why I am telling is for M20 grade concrete, sigma ct will not be there in the code actually, because minimum grade of concrete what we use for water tank is M25. So that is the reason they have used it. So they have used it starting from M25. Since the question it is given for M20, so this value at least it's going to be 1.2 actually for M20. So just to find it out, 0.27 root fck. Okay. The next step is so you see next step is finding out the outer face wall reinforcement. So you see this is inner face. So these reinforcement we have found out to take care this tension and bending moment. Okay. So you will have reinforcement at the outside also. You need, because I told you we need to provide two layers. Mostly the thickness of the wall is going to be 220. Overall thickness, it is going to be 225 and more. So this outside also we need to provide. So since the main pressure and hoop and everything is coming inside, you need to provide the minimum reinforcement outside. Here like this, this also you need to provide outside. Okay, this is inside, this is outside. 2-layer reinforcement. Are you getting me or what? Okay. Okay, this is outside reinforcement. This is going to be minimum reinforcement. So these reinforcement here and this reinforcement here, and similarly you will have your these bars, horizontal bars here also. Otherwise, how the vertical bar will stand? So these bar also, similarly here also. Okay, these bar also. These are all going to be your minimum reinforcement. Okay, AST minimum. Right? Okay, so that is important. So that one you can take according to area of steel. If it is Fe415 steel you are using, to take 0.24 percentage. If 250 mild steel is 0.3 percentage. Okay. The next step is design of the base slab. So base slab doesn't subject to any bending moment or anything, because it's simply resting on the soil actually. So minimum thickness you take 150, and the AST you take 0.3 percentage, irrespective of whatever it is. Okay, if you want to, you can take base slab. Normally you take 0.3 percentage. If you are taking 0.24 instead of because of what I say, because of Fe415, no problem, nothing wrong in that. So only thing you keep in mind is this AST what you are getting is for the top and bottom. Okay, here this is for the top and bottom, because I've been telling it quite number of times. So just I'm explaining once again. This is your base slab actually. So the AST you will be providing AST. We need to provide two layer here also and here also. Okay, and this horizontal bar also here. Okay, everywhere full length. So this total AST is going to be this, and this is going to be AST. Okay, so the top you should provide AST by 2, AST by 2, and here also AST by 2. Okay, so that is important. So then once you found out AST, you find out the spacing. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you very much.